So you're best known for Kirk on Corrie, and then also Darren from the royal family. But the most thing that I'm interested in is your TikTok. So you started it in March, and you've literally got over 126,000 followers.
Yeah,
Talk me through it.
it was mad really. Well, during lockdown, obviously there wasn't really much to do, and my daughter's been on it for years, and my wife's been on it as well. So we just started doing some TikTok dances during lockdown, and then after we came back to work and things got back to normal, I didn't really think about it. And about 6 weeks ago, my wife just said, like, why don't you set up a TikTok account? So I thought, I'll give it a go. And it's gone quite well. I mean, I've tried to put a bit of everything on there. I've done like a bit of lip syncing, a few of the, I mean, the Bruno Mars dance is crazy. I mean, I think it's got like 3.5 million views or something stupid, which I put it on my Instagram as well. I think it's only got like 157,000 views. I've actually got more followers on Instagram than I have on TikTok. So it's kind of weird. I don't really know how it works. And obviously you put a video on that's over a minute and you earn money for it. It's weird, but I've got to say it's a really good app. I've been enjoying the dances, and then I put the I think I did "Don't Look Back in Anger," playing the guitar and singing it. And someone said, "Oh, you've got to do what's it called now? Half the World Away" from the royal family. So I thought, yeah, I'll do that. And I put that on yesterday, and I think in like 24 hours it had like 600,000 views, which is it's insane, really. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's been good fun. I've been enjoying it.
I think it's because people are seeing like how funny you are, like through your character Kirk. Because I think when I look at Kirk, I just see you, like your personality, and then obviously on I'm a Celeb, and now you've come to TikTok, everybody just knows that you're proper like down to earth, and I think that's what they go into the page for, because they just know you're being genuine.
No, that's just me. I'm just a normal family man. Do you know what I mean? I know my job's on television and stuff, but it's just a job to me. I'm no better than you. You're no better than me. It's the way I've always seen it. Yeah, that's the way my family have always brought me up, to keep my feet on the floor, and that's the way it's always been. And I mean, it's obviously when my kids were younger, it was weird for them having people coming up saying like, you have a picture, and they're like looking at these people saying like, why are they asking for a picture with my dad type of thing. But now, as they've got older and they're kind of used to it, you kind of just, it's just a normal job, and I love it. Do you know what I mean? I've been here 26 years this year, which is amazing, because when I first signed, I signed for 7 episodes. So to be here for 26 years, and I love playing the character as well. It's a great character to play. And obviously it all came off the back of the royal family, which again was a massive show. One that I didn't realise how big it was when I first got the part, because the first series had gone out. And then the second series, I think it's episode 6, Anthony's 18th birthday party. My dad rang me and said, "Oh, you've got the part." And my dad was the taxi driver at the time, and he was telling one of his mates at work, he said, "Oh, Andy's just got this part in this show called The Royal Family." And he was like, "Oh, it's brilliant, that show." And it was weird for me, because like I did quite a few things when I was younger. Like I did a show when I was 11 called Once Upon a Time in the North. It was like a 6-part series. And that was with Bernard Hill. He played my dad, and then obviously from then did a few adverts and stuff. But then when I did The Royal Family, it went out on the Thursday night, and then I remember on the Friday, I was living in Bolton at the time. I remember walking into the I think was it now the market hall. I was going up some escalators. As I was going up, some people were coming down. I was pointing at me, going, "Oh, that's him off The Royal Family." And that was the first time everyone really recognised me. And again at the time, when I was at college, and it was like the last year of high school and 2 years of college, I used to go busking on Market Street, and just to get my dinner money for college, basically. And the royal family had been out on the Thursday, and on the Saturday, I went busking, and people come up to me going, "You was on TV on Thursday, like, what are you doing busking here?" So that was the end of my busking days. So, and then obviously at the time, June West, who was the casting director on the royal family, was also the casting director on Coronation Street. And she said, "I'm going to get you in," and she did, and thankfully, I've been here 26 years.
Wow, that's so good. So you said that like your family, they're really supportive when you got your audition and stuff. Was there any times where you felt a bit like you didn't get the part and you felt a bit deflated?
No, I've always been a big believer in if you don't get it, it just wasn't meant to be. And I'm one of them. If one door closes, another one opens. And at the time when it was kids, Alan also, who plays Tyrone, we used to always go for the same auditions, and he used to get most of the parts. There's only a couple that I got. We actually did both of us, we got a Derry Triangle advert, and we filmed it out in Cape Town in South Africa, so that was good fun. But as I say, Alan used to get most of the parts. I think there was one that I got, it was Where the Heart Is. It's only one episode, but we both went for that, and I got it, but most of the parts he used to get. But yeah, they've always been supportive, and we used to try and share it, because if you had like an audition, and then you'd say like my dad or my mum would take us to the first audition, then if you got a recall, Alan's mum or dad would take us. So we always tried to work it like that, so both our parents weren't having to go out all the time. So it was just always worked like that from being kids, really.
That's so nice. Well, Alan, obviously, like you sound like your besties. Yeah. He commented on your Instagram of your Bruno Mars dancing.
Oh,
and he said that your wife should come home because you need.
Yeah, she was in Benidorm at the time, but when I actually filmed it, she filmed it for me. Oh. So she was actually there. But he just said, "Please, Nick, come back from Benidorm." But yeah, do you know what? He knows what I'm like. It's just all good fun. Do you know what I mean? And it's just mad to see the response that I've got with some of the video. I mean, you're always going to get the odd person on there that gives you abuse, but that's just social media for you. But I say out of 100 comments, 98 of them are nice and 2 are bad, but you just have to take it on the chin.
Yeah, when I got TikTok, I realised, especially opening the comments, it can be a really scary place. Yeah. And you're really good at just replying and just being so nice. Yeah,
well, I think that's another way of trying to build your account as well. I mean, I've always tried to reply to as many people as I can. But I just think it's a nice thing to do, because you interact. And one thing I like about, I know you can go live on Instagram, but when you go live on TikTok, it's kind of, people come on straight away. So you go live, like within 10 seconds, there's people on there straight away, and they're dead happy to see that you're on there and asking you questions. And it's nice to be able to talk to these. I know it's not face to face, but answer the questions that people are asking, and it's genuine fans as well. Do you know what I mean? So not like I say, I know you get the odd person who just abuse you for anything, but like I say, it's genuine fans. It's really surprised me how it seems like a really nice platform. So like I say, I know there is a few people out there, but a lot of it is positivity on there, which I really like.
How do you deal with negative comments? Does work help you a little bit?
No, I just kind of take it on the chin, and I just delete them. I mean, sometimes I might reply, but I'll just have a bit of banter back with them and just go what, and it depends on what they say. But a lot of the times I'll just delete it, because it's not worth getting into it, because I think if they're just being negative, then whatever you reply, they're going to be negative back again anyway. So it's like, what's the point in giving them the time of day? Do you know what I mean? I've always been one of them. When it comes to if you're thinking something negative, why do you have to put it on someone's social media? You think it if you think what you want, but for me, if you're not going to be positive, then what's the point in putting it on there? Do you know what I mean? Just like I did when I put Half the World Away on. Someone put oh, for F's sake, give it a rest, stick to acting. Do you know what I mean? But then you look at all the positive comments, people saying, "Oh, thanks, really enjoyed that," and they're the ones that you think, well, that's why I put it on there. Do you know what I mean? I don't care about the negativity, because I know it's just part and parcel of it.
Yeah, you're really positive, and you don't let your them get in the way of your passion, because you sing. I've been on your live once when you've been singing.
Oh, the karaoke?
Yeah.
That's sometimes our Friday, Saturday night on the karaoke, having a few drinks, singing a few songs. But it's nice that a few people come on and they're obviously saying, "Oh, can you sing such a song?" And there's some songs on there I've never sung before that I have a go at. And some songs that I really like singing, and they wanted me to sing as well. So it's just all part and parcel. And it's just nice to integrate with people and really you know what I mean, take on board what they say and know that they're enjoying what I'm putting out there as well.
Yeah. Did you notice a big jump between Instagram and TikTok when joining?
Yeah, I mean, I've been on Instagram for years. I've still only got 392,000 followers on there. But like I say, on TikTok, within 4 weeks, there's nearly 130,000. And like I say, people don't seem to interact with you as much on Instagram as they do on TikTok. And as I didn't realise how big TikTok was. I mean, I knew it was a big platform, but not as big as what it is. I know we noticed that since I've gone on there. And I say, I mean, the Bruno Mars dance, it's on Instagram's only got 157,000 views, and I've got 200,000 followers less on there. Oh, on TikTok than you have on Instagram, but it's got like 3.5 million views on TikTok, which is just proves that people share things more on TikTok than they do on Instagram.
Yeah, it is like you can repost, you can share.
Well, even like when you go live, people can share your live stuff, and do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm enjoying it. Like I say, it's just a bit of fun, and we even got my daughter involved in doing a TikTok dance with us. I don't think we're gonna get Tom involved. We got him involved back in lockdown, but he was a bit younger then. He's 17 now, so I think he's a bit more. I'm not doing that, Dad. Yeah, my daughter's got involved in a couple, so it's just nice to do as a family.
It seems like you've got like a lot of support at home. And when you go out, like, because I know you do a lot of vlogging, I saw you went out for a meal on your birthday. That was really nice.
Yeah, and Jo, who owns Lily, she used to work here. She used to work in costume here for years. So I'd known Jo anyway. And it was really weird because Tom's best mate, my son, I was speaking to Chris, his dad, and he said, "Oh, we went to Lillian's in Lee." He said, "Oh, it's really nice." Oh, I said, "We'll have to give it a go." And then I was in Marks and Sparks in Lee, and seeing Jo, and she went, "Oh, Andy, oh, you need to come to my restaurant." I was like, "Oh," so what's your restaurant? She went, "Oh, Lillian's." And I was like, "Oh," I said, "Well, we've always said that we was going to go." And it was mad because it was my birthday, but it was Lillian's first birthday as well on the 2nd of April. So I said, "Oh, well, it's Lillian's birthday as well." So I said, "Well, we'll come then on my birthday." And then we had a really good night. She had a guitarist on because I got up and did a few songs with him. And whenever there's someone singing, I can't resist but get up and do a number. But yeah, it was a really nice night. We enjoyed, and the food was delightful as well.
So when you're out in like public and like people approach you, like you're in the restaurants, obviously people like will notice you. How do you deal with it?
If I mean, to be honest with you, now the kids have got a bit older, it's not too bad. It's a bit more difficult when the kids were young. But if people come over and you can tell they're genuine fans, it's great. Do you know what I mean? But you get some people who come over and go, "Oh, you used to be in Corridon." You're like, "Well, no, I'm still there." "Oh, can I have a picture?" It's like, well, you obviously don't watch it if you didn't know that was still in it. But I still have a picture with people. But I was out the other day, I think yesterday it was. I was in the travel centre and saying, "Oh, you're in with Emmerdale Farm, aren't you?" I'm like, "No, Coronation." "Oh, can I have a picture?" I'm like, so you obviously don't even watch it. He went, "Oh, no, but I do recognise you." So I recognise you from driving my tractor in Emmerdale. So I had a picture, don't get me wrong, but when you get genuine fans, I mean, the best ones are when we do the Star Tours at the studios here, because people can pay to do the normal tours. When they pay a bit extra, they get to meet a star, but they're great because, it's just all genuine fans. And even people that come with it, if they're not fans, someone that they've come with are mega fans of the show. So it's nice to do them because you know that you're meeting people who are really made up to meet you because they love the show. But yeah, I'm always polite with people, unless people. I mean, it used to be weird back in the day, like when I used to be a bit younger, going out clubbing, and sometimes you get like blokes coming up to you going, "Oh, come and have a picture," and they grab you like round the head and try and drag you over to the mates, and you're like, "Well, if you want a picture, like bring your mates over here, because they could be taking you over there to give you a good idea for you, do you know what I mean?" But I just now come over here and I'll do it. But I'm always polite. As long as they're polite with me, I'm always polite with them, and I'll always have pictures with people.
It's really funny how like Emmerdale and Coronation Street, like all the actors, like some people don't really, they keep thinking like you're from Corrie, you're from Emmerdale. But when you did Corriedale, there was a deleted scene that you were in. Oh, I really wish they put it on because it was so funny.
I know, it was a really good scene with Kirk and Sam Dingle. But I mean, it was nice that we got voted for because they voted for 8 characters to do a scene together. And I think me and Sam, Kirk and Sam was right up there. And it was just a really nice, and I think because it was so intense, I think it would have just fitted in so nicely just to put a little bit of like artiness into it. But they went for Charity and Carlo. But I mean, they was in the episode anyway, so it kind of, I think it would have been better. I mean, I know, but I mean, we did come second, but they come well out top. Everyone was just saying, "Oh, it'd be a great scene that, but we really want to see Charity and Carlo." But it is what it is. I got to shoot it, and it was nice to go over to Emmerdale and see how they work over there as well. And I've known James for a good while. James, who plays Sam, so we did enjoy doing the scene. Like, just a shame it didn't get shown.
It was really funny how he was like really like focused and just kind of like you could tell he was stressed out, and you were just like, "Hiya."
Yeah, and there with Peanut. Yeah, hello, say hello, Peanut, hello. But yeah, it was a nice little scene to do, and I think they wrote it really well for both characters. And like I say, it's just a shame it didn't get shown in the main show, unfortunately.
So when you're on Coronation Street, you're very like bubbly, very like fun. Do you ever wish you could do like a more serious storyline?
Well, I mean, obviously last year, Craig passed away. He got killed, and obviously Craig was Kirk's stepson. Not technically, but obviously he was Beth's son, and Kirk and Beth were together. And I really found that tough, not just as an actor, but because Cole's a great lad. I've watched him since when he first came into the show. So I had some really, really big emotional scenes in that, and I did enjoy doing it. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I prefer the comedy side of it. But yeah, they was tough scenes to shoot because, like I say, he was a real good lad, Coulson. I found it tough. I think I've seen a lot of people leave over the years, but with Coulson, I think that's the one that I found the hardest one to take. So yeah, when I did them scenes, it was acting, but there was a lot of real emotion in it as well, because I was gutted that he was getting killed off as well, because there's obviously no chance of him ever coming back either.
Yeah. Do you ever like? Do you have like in mind how you would want your character to just like be sent off?
No, I just like him just to stay for as long as he can, basically. I won't like him to go in the back of a taxi like a lot of people do, but on the flip side, if you don't go in the back of a taxi, generally you're getting killed, and I certainly wouldn't want Kirk to die. So yeah, I mean, hopefully, touch wood, it won't happen for a very, very, very long time. Because like I say, I love working here, and I've always said I'll stay as long as they'll have me. But yeah, I don't know. I've never really thought about it, and hopefully I never do have to think about it, unless I get to an old man and oh yeah, I'm ready to go now, ready to retire and spend some time with my wife and kids. And don't get me wrong, I get a lot of time spent with them now, but just to be able to go off and whenever you want and do whatever you want, it'd be nice. But I'm not nowhere near ready for that yet.
Yeah. Well, I want to bring up I'm a Celeb because I remember watching I'm a Celeb and it was so good. And you literally just narrowly missed out on King of the Jungle. Yeah. Obviously, Jacqueline Josser, she won. Yeah. What was your experience first time going on I'm a Celeb?
Yeah, it was mad for me because I've watched it since series 1, and I've always loved the show. So when I first got out there, I mean, I think you could see that first trial what me and Cliff Parisi did, and I'm just laughing my head off at him. I'm just like, this is like just like being in the TV basically. Because normally I'm sat at home watching it on the sofa, and then I'm there with Ant and Dec, and Cliff Parisi's putting his hand into holes that he doesn't know what's in there and stuff, and he just kept screaming, and I just didn't do anything to help him. I was just laughing my head off. But it's a bit harder when you go in as a late arrival, because even though everyone made you feel welcome, everyone's still already made them bonds, and I think it proved that when we had to do trials, and then I think there was 9 of us, 9 of the campmates that got to go off and have a roast dinner, and me, I put myself bottom, Cliff Parisi just above me, and then Ian Wright just above us, and we tried to get all 12 of us to go and have this chicken dinner, and obviously we only got 9 of us, so me, Cliff Parisi and Ian Wright had to stay in camp, and then when they came back, Caitlyn Jenner gave Ian Wright a potato and some chicken, I think, and didn't give us anything, and I think it kind of shows that even though like they make you feel welcome, you're not an original. Do you know what I mean? So it is a bit tougher. And I think when people were coming out and they're saying like, who would you like to win? They were saying Jacqueline because she's been there from day one, and I get that. Do you know what I mean? And I don't get. I really did not expect to do as well as what I did when I seen the personalities in there, like Caitlyn Jenner, who's just a huge star. And when on earth, but that's the beauty of I'm a Celebrity. I mean, Andy Whyment from Salford. Do you know what I mean? It being on Coronation Street, where else would I ever meet Caitlyn Jenner apart from a show like I'm a Celeb? Obviously, Ian Wright was in there, another massive personality. So I'm thinking, listen, if I finish 7th, 6th, I'd be over the moon. But every time people were going out and getting voted out, I'm thinking, wow, like I'm doing really well here. And yeah, so to come second, it was amazing. And excuse me, at the time, I mean, I literally finished there on the Monday morning, flew back Tuesday night, and then I was back in work the following week. So you go from this bubble of I'm a Celebrity for a month back to going back to your normal job and your bread and butter. And even like when it came out, it was like, oh, are you going to get yourself, going to try and get a music career now? And I'm like, no, I'm going back to Corrie, and that's my main priority. I'm going back, you know what I mean? I love Corrie, and I'll always stay there as long as they'll have me. So for me, like at the time, it was amazing to do, and then to get asked to go back and do the All Stars one, again was amazing for me, because obviously I didn't win. I came second, and I met some lovely people there as well. I mean, Sean Ryder, what an absolute legend, and he got me backstage to watch Oasis. And it was just like, for me, because Oasis are my band, went to Eaton Park on the first night, got to meet Noel Gallagher, got a picture with him. I went to watch the Happy Mondays at Victoria Warehouse as well. And that was great to see Sean doing what he does best. Paul Burrell as well was in there, who I never thought I'd get on well with. And Paul Burrell is just the loveliest man in him, his husband Coop. And Ashley Banjo, Jordan Bando, sorry. I just got on, some really nice people. I mean, it's kind of weird, because when you're in there, everyone's like, oh yeah, we'll all keep together and all keep in touch. But when you get back, everyone's got their own lives. And for me as well, in my from 2019, there was only me that lived up north. Everyone else lived in London. So I speak to Miles every now and again, and Cliff Parisi, but the rest of them, it's kind of, everyone just got their own, gets on with their own lives. So, but out of the All Stars, I still speak to quite a few of them. So I keep in touch with Sean Ryder all the time, and Paul Burrell, and Jordan Banjo as well. So it's nice.
At the minute, I'm watching the All Stars, and they're all saying like it's harder the second time round. Did you say like it would have been harder the second time round?
It's a different camp, and for me, it was. I found it hard the second time because I was on rice and beans for it, because they obviously split the tribes into two tribes now, and that's what they did with us. And our tribe kept losing, so I think you had 3 or 4 days on rice and beans. I love my food, and so I've 3 or 4 days on rice and beans. Like, they taste horrendous as well. You just get to the stage where you just can't really eat it anymore. And Deck came in, and they basically said, this trial today, whoever loses goes home. And everyone was like, well, I don't want to do it. And I was starving by that point. So I thought, well, it's a win-win situation for me. So I said, because Joe Swash and Dean Gaffney, they had to pick who they wanted to do the trial. So I said, I'll make it easy. I said, I'll put my name forward. And basically, it was me and Toff versus Jordan Banjo and Mylene Class. And we had to go on these, it was like a trolley type thing on a track. We had to go and had to pull. It was a bit like, I had the golden nuggets the other night. We had to pull these golden nuggets out of them. It's like holes in the wall, but there's like in clay. But bearing in mind, I hadn't had any food for 4 days. They'd all been having picnics. And Jordan Banjo, his hands are flipping massive. He's 6'4", so he's just flipping, pulling all this clay out. And they ended up getting beat. But it was like, if I would have won, I would have gone back and had a picnic and some nice food. And if I lost, I got to go back to a room service and speaking to my wife and family. And to be honest with you, I was a bit gutted, because after that, then when they went into the head-to-head trials, the trials that I'd watched, I think I would have done all right. I think I would have had a good chance of getting to the final. But on the flip side of that, it was nice to see it from the other side, because in Australia, I didn't really get to see Australia or take anything in when I came out, because I came out on the Monday morning, Sunday night over Monday morning there. I literally came out, did my interview with Ant and Deck, went back to the hotel, had a quick shower, got changed, did a press shoot for Daily Mirror or something, and then I had to go on Good Morning Britain, Lorraine, and then you had the rap party, and then so literally I had like the full day the day after, and then we just flew back on the Tuesday night. So I literally didn't get to see any of Australia. But I got to see a little bit of it before I went in, but you're on lockdown for a week. So I literally went to get my hair cut, and they took me to like a wildlife park, and I was showing some kangaroos. But apart from that, you didn't get to see anything. So it was nice when I went to South Africa just to get to enjoy just being with everyone else and having a few beers and having a bit of a laugh with everyone. So thinking, well, everyone's in there, thinking, well, they're still in there and it might be on rice and beans and all that type of stuff. So it was kind of nice to see it from the other side as well.
Yeah. What was the lockdown like?
It was intense, because when you get there, you literally you get to do one FaceTime call and then take your phone off you. So even though, like, I People say, oh, why did they all get so upset when you get your letters from home? But what you got to remember is you've not spoke to your loved ones for a week before you go in there. So you have like 3 weeks where you, and I've been with Nick at the time, we've been together like 20 years. So, and I speak to Nick and the kids every single day. So, and when you're in there, you don't know what's being shown, what's being said. So when you get your letters from home and they turn around saying, we're so proud of you, that's what gets you so emotional, because you're just happy that they're happy with what you're doing, because you have no idea what's going on. I mean, even when you go out and do a trial, they have tape over the watches, so you don't even know what time it is. The only time you know it's like 6 o'clock in the morning, half 6, is when you're in at deck going, get me out of here, because you can hear that from the camp. And when you know what people believe, you know it's like 7, half 7. But then after that, you have no idea what time of day it is.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. So it is really tough when you're in there. I mean, if you go out and do a trial, it's kind of nice because it gets you out of camp, and because listen, it shows you the trials, but you've obviously got to travel there. So it just takes your mind off being in camp for a little bit. And if you go like a couple of days where you don't do anything, being in camp, it's only small. I mean, you can have a little walk down to the creek, but I mean, I'd been out and done a trial one day, and I came back, and basically the bags that you get the rice and beans in, they'd like scrumpled them all up into a ball, and Caitlin had got the rope off what they tie the bags with, and tied it around the ball, and literally the lads are lay there like that, and they're throwing this ball at the nuts, and they're like, do you want to have a go on? He said, no, do it. I said, why do I want to sit there like that? Were you trying to chuck a ball at me balls, basically? I said, no, thank you. But that's what when you're in there, because there's not much to do. Yeah, the boredom. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of conversations going on, but you just literally, it's a TV set, but you're sleeping out in the elements. I mean, I was quite lucky my year. We only had like one big downpour, but when Al Alsol did it, I think he had most of it was raining, floods and everything. So we was quite lucky. We just had one big downpour, and the rest of it, like, we had the canopy on because it was like too hot. So we got lucky in with our series. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah. I always see people sleep in the hammocks. Is it uncomfortable?
I could not sleep in a hammock, and obviously because it was a late arrival, when you get to the camp, the beds are gone, so you're stuck in a hammock. And I remember waking up one night and I had cramp in my calf. And it was just like horrendous, And it's not only that, but I mean, you might have seen it in the All Stars one now, people snoring. I think there was when me and Caitlin got camp leader and I got deputy, and they moved us up into the VIP bit, and I think that was my first really good night's sleep. And then all I remember is being upstairs getting ready in the morning, and all I hear was Andy snores, and Caitlin obviously I'd kept Caitlin Jenner awake snoring. But I think that was the first like proper night's sleep that I'd got, because I'd hardly been sleeping. So yeah, it was sleeping in a hammock was not good for me.
Yeah, it looks like I would be gutted.
Because you're curved. Yeah. But then some people really liked it. I remember even when people started to leave, Roman Kemp, he just kept sleeping in his hammock, which for me, I was like, there's no way. As soon as the bed became available, and once people were leaving and that top bit was still available, I was sleeping up there. I mean, I think Jacqueline as well. Did she sleep in a hammock? I think she might have done as well, but I'm like, I'm sleeping up there in that VIP bit. I'm not sleeping in a hammock when I don't need to. So, but yeah, I remember the last night, I remember just sitting up in the bed and just taking it in one last time of an evening, just thinking like, being proud of what I'd achieved, because like I said, I never thought I'd get to the final. We just had a lovely meal, the three of us. I remember watching it every year thinking, I wonder what it'd be like getting to the final and having that final meal together in camp. And I got to do it, and it was a really nice experience, and thinking I'm going to come at least third. It was just a really nice experience.
So when you got to choose your meal, can you literally say anything?
You want. I mean, Roman Kemp, he started with, I think it was an Oreo milkshake. And I got prawn cocktail. And I got a chicken dinner. The simple reason I got a chicken dinner was because they had had that chicken dinner and we didn't get it. So I got prawn cocktail, chicken dinner, and then I got a chocolate sponge with chocolate custard. And then I got a Bacardi and Diet Coke. So that, because I'd done the eating trial as well during the day. And that was the most horrendous thing. I had to eat a pig's testicle. And you kind of, I knew they was going to give it because I said to him, like, thought my gag reflex isn't the best. And that pig's testicle was horrendous. And I remember sitting down at that table and I started, you try and tell yourself that you're not eating a pig, you're eating something nice, but you're not eating something nice. And I remember I started gagging and I coughed and some of it was on my hand there. I remember Aunt saying, you need to get rid of that off your hand, Andy. And I went on that and ate it. And they went, no, you could have just flicked it off. We didn't mean eat it. But I was like, oh, and then I was like, what? I did it. But yeah, I mean, everything's edible, but it's just not very nice. I mean, I had pig's testicle, scorpion, witchery grub. I think did he have a anus as well? I think I had an anus. Yeah, nothing nice.
The vomit fruit one looks like, I hate that one.
They split us into 2 teams, and it's basically to win immunity off the first vote off. And we had to do these drinking trials, and I got blended fish eyes. It was a cup about that big, and I had to go against James Haskell. But you had to finish it to get a camp to get a meal for camp. So you had even though I knew I wasn't going to beat him, I knew I had to finish the drink just to get a meal for camp. Because you are in there as a team, and you know when you go doing trials that if you go back with 2 stars and there's 12 years in there, because even when you get 12, you're not getting much food anyway. You know what I mean? You only get like a little bit of meat or whatever. But that little bit of meat means everything when you're in there. So you always want to finish. And I mean, I remember drinking them blended fish eyes, and every time I burped that day, all I could taste was horrible.
And then you eat
fish in your mouth. Oh, it was horrendous. So that wasn't good to have either.
Oh my gosh. Well, you're in there for like over 3 weeks without speaking to your family. Is there any support that you can have during the day if you're feeling a bit like deflated?
There's like a psychiatrist who you have to go and have a meeting with her before you go over to Australia anyway. But she's always there if you are struggling to go in there and have a chat to. But yeah, I wasn't too bad. I mean, they do try and mess with your head because when I went out to do the South African one, even though it's on in April, we filmed it in September. So I miss Holly's first. Well, I actually seen Holly's first day of high school, but it's Nick's birthday on the 17th of September, my wife's birthday, and I remember that day they got me into the bus telegraph and they were saying like, "Oh, is it a significant day back home today?" And I'm like, "Yes, it's my wife's birthday." But she actually said to me, "Excuse me," because the amount of crying I did when I was did 2019. Nick said to me, "If you go out there and do it again, I do not want to see any tears." So I promised that I wasn't going to cry, and I didn't. So they was trying to like get me to get emotional. I got a bit hungry out there, but not emotional. But yeah, there's one day where Helen Flanagan and Paul Burrell had been out and did a trial, and Helen came in and go, "Yeah, we won." And Paul said, "I tried," and my head just fell off. Like I said, I think that was like the 3rd or 4th day I was on rice and beans. I was sat lay on the bed, and I think Fatima Whitbread came over. Then I just said, "It's doing me head in." I said, "Why are we in 2 teams? You keep eating, we're not eating. It's doing me head in." And then I had a little wobble, and after that I was like, "Oh, Dean, why didn't you pick me?" Like, so I just had one of them moments where I was just really, really hungry and tired as well, because you don't sleep great as well. So you do have your moments in there, but on the flip side, it's a great experience as well.
Did you ever get tempted in, obviously, the second time we went on the All-Stars, did you ever get tempted to like sneak in like salt and pepper or anything?
Someone bring coffee in. I think Paul might have brought coffee in. And I think when we did 2019, I think, was it Cliff Parisa? I think Cliff had brought some salt and pepper. And when we was in the jail, he was kept going like that and putting a bit of salt and pepper in, which you just take stars off you, so it's not worth doing anyway. Do you know what I mean? You know, the day after they go, "Oh, you won 12 stars, but because you put salt and pepper in your food, we're only giving you 10. So you don't really want to do it anyway, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it sounds funny though. I feel like if I went on it, I'd try and like sneak a tea bag in because I love tea.
Well, that's what I mean. You try and do what we did. If we got a bit of fruit the night before, then there was one day where it was like oranges, and what we did was we kept the peel from the orange and just put it in boiling water just to try and give you a little bit of flavour. Because I mean, the water's it's horrible anyway, because you just take. I mean, when I did 2019, there'd been wildfires in Australia, So when we was in main camp, it was a gas stove. So when I did South Africa, I wasn't used to having to keep the fire going. So you're having to wake up in the middle of the night if you're on fire duty and put the wood on the fire, but the water just tastes like you can taste the flames, and it's not nice even when you're drinking the water. The only time it's not too bad is if you go out on a trial. You can sometimes get like proper water, so you always fill your canister up. So at least you know you've got some nice fresh water before you go back to camp.
That's so smart.
Yeah, but apart from that, it's just the water in the camp, and it's not the best.
One last question. If you were to, I know like bush tucker trials, like they're not fun, and I mean some of them look fun. Like I think the water ones look really fun, like swimming with like fish and crocodiles. But if you were to do one and post it on TikTok, which one would you do?
100% Cyclone.
Yeah. Cyclone
was just such good fun, and I went last as well. So it was really funny, mate. So I jumped into because you like spinning round on a, I don't know what it is, but you're spinning round, and I jumped in and I was just like booting the balls away. Obviously the fans are blowing on you. It was just really good fun, and then you get to the end, and then they release the water, send you right back to the beginning again. But yeah, if you had to post any on TikTok, 100% be Cyclone. I had a cape, I had a green cape, and it was weird. I looked horrendous because I'd had shorts on because the weather had been nice. So the shorts come to literally there, so you could see like my tan line. So I looked horrendous, but you know I didn't care. I was doing Cyclone.